Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, not here with Geeky Sparkles, so I think I'm going to talk about video games again. We're going to talk about Take-Two Interactive apparently walking back DEI. A lot of video game publishers and Hollywood studios and just retailers are walking back DEI. It is a sign of the times, and man, it happened quick. It happened so damn quick, you're going to get whiplash. From last year to this year, I mean, it's not cool anymore to have a DEI statement up on your website or say you're doubling down on it or whatever. It was cool during the Biden administration. Well, it was never cool, really. I mean, it's like if you got to broadcast it, it's like chances are pretty good you're probably not abiding by it anyway. But it was all for show. And we know this now, especially look at Disney. I mean, it was all for show. They did what they had to do, probably to get that sweet venture capital or investment or whatever. And now it's over. The money's run out. The regime has changed at the White House, and consumers are roundly rejecting it. So it makes sense that Take-Two would remove it too. And that doesn't mean that these companies aren't going to, quietly institute their own DEI policies. They're just not going to broadcast it because consumers are going to look at it and be like, oh, here we go again. And, that's the unfortunate side effect of DEI is I think the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I think initially a lot of these companies adopted the DEI stuff thinking it was the good, the right thing to do. The cynic in me says they thought it was going to be profitable, and when it turned out it wasn't profitable, then they dropped it like a hot potato. But let's be generous and say that some of them thought they were doing the right thing, and it bit them in the ass. So it's like, and now because of it, and we've talked about this before, because of all the DEI and DEI being verboten, now anytime there's a non-white person or a gay person or whatever in entertainment or in media or whatever it is, job, we got pride merch at the Target or whatever it is, people are just they're gonna make the assumption, especially when it comes to hiring, that person is not qualified, that they only got their job because of DEI mandates, because we've seen the result of people, regardless of skin tone, regardless of gender or sexual identity or whatever, people who take a shortcut because of DEI, and we've seen the results. His companies have crashed and burned. In some cases, literally, we're dealing with the airlines, but you have to hire qualified people, and it should be a colorblind hiring process. It should be gender blind. Hire the best person for the job, regardless of their gender or color or whatever. I mean, it should be pretty straightforward, but that's not how it's been the last couple of years. So, I mean, it's kind of weird to be like, oh my God, guys, this is breaking news. Things are going back to the way they were 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Things are going back to normal. News at 11. It's weird. It's weird because we already, a lot of these ceilings, these glass ceilings have been shattered in previous decades. We don't need to go back and reinstitute racism and sexism, so a new generation of people can give themselves, usually a bunch of white people, give themselves high fives, and praise for, breaking those barriers, right? It was all about the money, and now if there isn't any money, now it's anti-money, it's over. Anyway, that was a long way to get here. So let's talk about this. It's come from Steven Totillo. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. A lot of people talking about this. This is actually coming from GameFile, I guess. It was linked on Kotaku in Action. And they said, I'm not going to go through this whole article because I think it's a paid article, so I don't want to give you his article for free, but I'll just first couple paragraphs here. They said basically Grand Theft Auto, NBA 2K, and Borderlands publisher Take-Two has deleted references to diversity and inclusion from the annual report to investors this year, and a list of employment awards that boasts about each year no longer includes 2 accolades it was granted for its support of LGBTQ employees. They want to sell a lot of Grand Theft Auto 6. Right? I'm just saying. Those changes are among the most eyebrow-raising in Take-Two's voluminous 2025 10K annual report, which was filed to the SEC on Tuesday. Changes resemble the disappearance of diversity language from the most recent annual reports for some of America's biggest corporations, including Disney, Google, GM, and Intel. Those firms deleted or softened their DEI language from their big corporate filings. Yeah, because it's anti-money. People look at that now and they stay away. Consumers have been awakened. Can we say that they're woke now? The consumers are woke. They're onto it. Now they can see why things got so weird. I think a lot of people knew something wasn't quite right. There's a reason why things were getting kind of weird and weirdly political, even in spaces that didn't require any of that, right? Where it was completely like nobody cared about your race, your gender, whatever in a particular industry. And that became like the focal point. Like consumers knew it was weird. They couldn't verbalize it. They didn't know enough about it. And now that it's been on the news, it's hit the mainstream news that, oh, DEI. Well, DEI now has become a catch-all for wokeism. And, even, and I think that there might actually be an overcorrection at some point where we're just going to be like, yeah, we don't want to do even stuff that was like basic, human resources or equal opportunity stuff. I'm wondering if some companies are just going to be like, well, we can't hire this person now because they're going to think they're DEI hire. And if it gets out and it hits the media, then we're going to lose money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, this is actually hurting the people that you profess to help. Way to go. Congratulations. I said the changes resemble, disappearance from big corporations. 10K reports are filed by all publicly traded companies in the U.S. to inform investors about operations. Okay. Take-Two has not explained its changes and declined to comment when asked about them by GameFile. The changes are nevertheless consistent with a company that would want to avoid the attention of the Trump administration. Yeah, they're really cracking down on it. Now, Kotaku in Action talks about it a little bit here. They say, I'll believe it when I see the full product, return to form. Performative stunt, a game in development for multiple years. Are we talking about GTA 6? Removing word salad from your job goals doesn't remove the rainbow word salad from the game that's already been in development and nearly finished by now. Is this part of the reason? People speculated part of the reason that they're pushing back GTA 6 is to get rid of some of the more overt progressive themes because they actually want to sell this game, that they're taking notes on the failure of a lot of the Ubisoft games and, Sony with Concord and all these other like quote unquote DEI games, right? That they're taking notes and they're actually going to try to course correct. And that's why they're pushing it back. I don't know. I have no idea. Nobody can get a straight answer out of them anyway. Here's Rainbow Dildo Monkey. Yeah, none of this matters if they keep churning out sanitized DEI slop like what Borderlands 4 looks to be. Yes, I did another video about Borderlands 4. Hopefully it's not $80 because if it's got a lot of this in it, it's not going to sell. See also pretty much everything Ubisoft has put out in the last couple of years, right? Looking at the recent history of Rockstar, self-flagellating and promising to make their games as politically correct as possible. Yeah, it doesn't mean shit, this person says. Hold on. Doesn't mean shit. This Bonnie and Clyde spiel for GTA 6 is literally what Ubisoft said about Yasuke being the choice of the main character so you can explore Japan from an outsider's point of view, when in reality it's the inclusivity staple for all their future games to appease the mob. What mob? There's not much of a mob left. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, why, if you're a company, whether it's video games or comic books or anime or tabletop games, whatever, why are you more concerned about appeasing a handful of journalists and terminally online people and maybe some people that run some conventions? Why are you more concerned about appeasing those people than you are the consumer? Because I guarantee you, if we took the media out of the equation and you just had a direct pipeline to the consumer, they would tell you what they want. And they would tell you what they want by what they don't buy. And we're seeing this now. They're not buying these AAA titles that have a lot of DEI stuff in them. They're rejecting it outright. And you can't ignore that. Even if you are the wokester there is, if you answer to a board, if you're a corporation, You can't make a good case for putting this stuff in your game anymore because it is anti-sales, right? It's 100%. It's anti-sales. This is why Bob Iger is like telling the View ladies, I'm using finger quotes here, to shut the hell up because he knows that it's going to hurt the entire company. People are over it. The public is done with it. It doesn't matter how you personally feel. People are done with it. And a lot of people that are done with it, some of the most vocally against, surprisingly, have been black folks, gay folks who are like, you know, we didn't want to be treated differently. We wanted to be treated equally. And now you've just made it so much harder for us. Like, we're not going to be taken seriously now because of all this crap. Because all these other people that you hired who were not qualified, they just happen to look like me. And now because they were a joke, they're going to think I'm a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard this story too, from people. So way to go. And GTA 6, I don't know. I mean, people are going to buy it anyway because GTA, but of course they thought that too with, you know, Ubisoft games. They're like, oh yeah, Assassin's Creed is going to be a huge hit because it's Assassin's Creed. It really wasn't. A reaction to Trump. I still think they're playing covert with this progressive crap. Probably. That's just it. Yeah, they're still going to do it. They just can't say it aloud. It's not going to be on their website. Now, this is still on the site here. Take-Two Games. Take-Two's commitment to inclusion extends beyond the workplace, working together on company-sponsored service projects, encouraging individual volunteerism, providing financial and other support organizations, working to eradicate social and racial injustice. So it's still on here. Working with organizations to support the rights of the LGBTIQ community. Are they the really smart people? Are they the smart gay people? I don't know. The LGBTIQ. I thought it was QIA. I don't know. To increase that community's representation in our industry. Yeah, so that's still on the website, right? That's just, it's been buried, yeah. So it's but it's there. It's there. Interesting. But it's not in their filing. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think that GTA 6 is going to be super woke, or are they going to walk it back? Let me know in the comments. I'll talk later.